guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Wilderness Podcast. I'm your host Dills and my co-host Deagin.
Hey, what's up?
How's your week going over there?
Not too bad. Nothing too much has happened. Just handling assignments and, just
Typical.
work.
Just school, eh?
Yeah, just typical stuff.
Yeah, how about RuneScape besides the Iron Man challenge? You been playing anything on your main?
Yeah, I kind of did something really stupid, but I was doing Slayer. Just, to level it up and whatnot, just because, new update.
What level's your Slayer?
Oh, shit. So, I don't know, like 78 or something, or 76, I don't know. It's almost 80. Anyways, so I was, doing some Slayer, and I went and grabbed a new task, and I ended up getting the Bandos boss, which is the first time I've actually been assigned a boss, which is pretty weird.
What's your combat?
101, I think. Yeah. Anyways, so it's like, how many do you want to kill? And it said 3 to 35. And I went to hit 3 and I fat fingered 34 and I hit enter. So I set up a task for 34 fucking kills. And luckily my friend logged on who bosses all the time, just as that happened. And I'm like, yo, we gotta kill this guy 34 times. And then we looked at my stats and there's no way. My attack is too low, my defense is too low. So now I just gotta grind out at some attack, and he can probably tank for me. So I might drop it, because it's gonna be a couple... Well, actually, at the rate I'm going, it's gonna be a month probably, because I don't have too much time to play, but... Yeah,
I'd probably drop it if I were you. That sounds brutal.
Yeah,
I've only been assigned King Black Dragon and Mother Mole? Giant Mole. Mother Mole. Giant Mole is the other boss I got too. So I got the 2 easiest ones so far, so that's great.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky.
Yeah, and the Slayer helmet helps a lot. I tried doing KBD before without the Slayer helmet. I could get maybe 3 in a trip, maybe.
Yeah.
But with the Slayer helmet, I think I put 14 or 15 because I wanted to just see how many I could do, and I could do more than half the task. It's pretty cool.
Decent. Do you know if Slayer helmet increases accuracy against the boss?
Yeah, it does.
Oh shit. Okay, that's good. That's good to hear.
And if you do the Nightmare Zone and you get it imbued, it does the same thing for your magic and range. So you can use it for all melee or fighting styles.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty legit. You play any other games this week? Are you playing any other games right now?
Actually, no. All I've been doing is playing RuneScape. I started playing my Pure, get him the barrel chest anchor.
Oh yeah,
I've been doing that progress, but no, I've just been playing RuneScape and doing that. So nothing too much.
A lot of fun. What happened with World of Warcraft? Remember you going hard on that for a while.
Oh man, I don't have the time. I'm kind of expected that if I'm playing, that I'm going to be playing 4 hours a day, and then with the highest level of 5-man dungeons, there's 10 of them, and they're all over an hour long. And I'm expected to do them, and then also help other people do them. And then raids, they want our raid times to be Friday and Saturday. So I'm in Ontario, so that's Eastern Standard Time, I believe. And so for me, that would be from 11 to 3 in the morning, Friday and Saturday. But I have to get up at 6 in the morning on Fridays. So that means every Friday I'd be pulling a 21-hour shift and not going out and doing anything. And I just told them all I'm okay. I don't really want to play. If I have to invest that much time, I don't even want to play it casually.
Yeah, and that's where RuneScape shines.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh baby.
So what about yourself?
Myself, personal week. Yeah, it's been pretty dull. Nothing else is going on. RuneScape. On my main, I've been trying. I really want to get 94 mage. I think I said that. I can't remember if I said the last episode or not, but I'm just trying to power level. I've kind of liquidate a little part of my bank just so I could spend it all on ice bursts, and I think I've spent maybe 7 mil so far on it. But it's right now my level is 89, I believe, and I probably after the show I'll probably get 90 because it's 8
decent.
I think it's averages 150k experience an hour, and it's really AFK. That's what I like about it. So I can do other things. I can play the Iron Man, or I can play League of Legends, or I can watch porn.
Yeah, just do whatever you wanted.
Yeah, but it's still fast experience. So it was crazy. I did this. I remember when I first tried this. I think it was like at level 70, and I think I bought, I don't know, maybe 500k worth just to see.
Yeah.
And like, I remember just tearing through like the levels. I can't remember how many I got. At one point, I bought a bunch of spellcasts. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm working towards Vengeance so I can go Edgeville PK, because that's, like I said, last episode I tried it. It was a lot of fun, but I really want to go all out. I'm going to get a Fire Cape after this in my torso, but Barbarian Assault is going to be brutal because I can't really stand it. I think also part of it is because I did it a bunch back in the day, and it's just, I still feel burnt out from some of those things. Like, Barbarian Assault, Pest Control was pretty hard. I had to, like, portion it. Like, I was like, okay, I'll do, 150 points tonight, and then I'll get off for the night. So that's the problem. You don't want to burn yourself out of, like, if you set a goal that's kind of, it's going to take quite a grind. You don't want it to burn yourself out, because, like, I did that once with Hunter, and, like, I found myself not playing at all. Like, I just didn't want to play RuneScape because I knew I was going to do Hunter.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm really weird on how I really like setting up, like, stupid goals. Like, yeah, like, pretty much sit down, get Void. Not in one sit-in, but, like, pretty much. Like, just non-stop. Like, if I have, like, say, the weekend, and I'll, like, alright, I'm just gonna sit down and get Void this weekend. Just, like, keep playing until I get it. Like, I did that with Void. I've done that with the Torso, like, every time I've gotten it. I just pretty much, I sit down. Like, the Torso's not too bad, because it's only 6 hours, but it is pretty bad.
6 hours, man, that's a full day's work. Not really, but, like,
yeah,
it's a good chunk of a day.
I did that with my Fire Cape. I think it took me 5 or 6 tries, and each try was about an hour long. And did it with, like, my barrel gloves. Like, I sat down and did all the quests in one day. I got, like, a ridiculous amount of quest points in, like, one day. It was stupid. And yeah, I don't know. I like doing that stuff. Like, Hunter, I'm only 16 on Hunter, but I pretty much did that in one sit-in as well. Like,
I went 2 days fully, got to level 63, 64, spent the next day, and the next week I literally played like 1 hour a day because I was like, I wanted to kill myself. So I'm pretty sure that's when I quit RuneScape every time, is when I just, some goal I set for myself is just way too unrealistic for how often I can play, maybe, and stuff.
Like, generally when I set up a goal, I have it so that it all kind of snowballs into each other. Like,
yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, I'll make it so it's like, oh, like, hey, I want to get crafting up, so, like, I'll, get molten glass and then make a bunch of orbs, and it's like, I also want to get mage up too, so then, hey, maybe I'll go and, like, charge the orbs, and then I'll go and turn them into staves, and then either sell them or alch them, or just do whatever the hell I wanted. Like, I like setting up, like, my little goals, so, like, I benefit with multiple things.
Yeah, so I would do the same thing. Sometimes it's kind of fun, and it's just I don't know. It's satisfying, but see, that's what I was doing with alching, and I was wood cutting the yew logs, and then I would cut them, and then I would get the flax from Zulrah, and then I would turn them into bowstring, and then I would make the yew bows, and then I would alch them, and like that. It is satisfying, but the problem is, when you want, like, I'm just at this point, I'm just like, you know what, fuck this. I want 94 magic right now. I don't give a shit about fletching. I don't give a shit about crafting, I guess. And I'm just literally, like, just straight beeline towards 94 mage. Because what's probably going to happen is I'm going to get 94 mage. I'm going to go PKing, die like 5 times in a row, lose a bunch of items, go broke, and just be like, okay, great.
Yeah.
This was a fucking waste, but
I mean, it's kind of expected.
Yeah, we'll see. And yeah, for me playing other games, not really. I played a bit of Grand Theft Auto. I'm playing the story mode again. That game's awesome. It's a really good game, but
yeah, it's a pretty fun game.
What I find with RuneScape, sometimes I'll go out and look for a game that I can play with RuneScape, like that game that's slightly idle. You know what I mean? So I do that a lot, and then I have like a whole library full of games that I only play for RuneScape or with RuneScape.
Yeah, I'm like that, but Netflix. I have like 2 categories of like things in the background. Like, yeah, shows that like I'll kind of pay attention. I'll watch them, but it's not like Mad Men or Peaky Blinders or something where like I sit down and it's like, all right, like I'm paying 100% attention. Like I'll watch like BoJack or just some random shows just while like The Office. I've watched The Office like 20 times playing.
Yeah.
RuneScape.
Okay. What are you watching right now? You're big into TV, right? So
TV wise, I'm actually like kind of simmering down, but I'm like almost done the new BoJack. I'm almost done Peaky Blinders, the newest season. I finished like all the shows I really wanted to watch. I'm watching this show called Preacher. I'm only on episode 2. It's like I think it's DC like comic book that was turned into like a TV show. I don't know too much about it. I was just told to watch it, and it's definitely pretty interesting.
Never heard of it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really good. And the new South Park season, so I watched those like 2 episodes, obviously. Like just playing RuneScape and stuff.
See, most drama like TV shows on Netflix, I'm watching them with my girlfriend because we have a similar taste in just like TV shows. So I can't binge watch them. We have to wait till we're both available, which kind of sucks.
You guys also freaking like rewatch shows. That's what pisses me. I'll be like, "Yo, watch Peaky Blinders." And you're like, "Oh, I'm watching Malcolm in the Middle for the 5th time." It's like, what the? Come on.
It's a really good show.
Like, I actually think Peaky Blinders. It's like a show about like a gypsy gang, but
okay.
It's on it like the writing, and like I honestly think that show is on par with Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
like in terms of just like it is so good. Like, oh man,
yeah, I'm gonna put that on my catalog of shows to watch. See, I always have 2 shows going at once. I need to have like a serious drama, and I also need to have like a, like a cartoon or like a sitcom.
Yeah,
I got something that I can. If I know, like sometimes I'll be watching it right before bed, going to bed, and I might fall asleep. So I don't want to watch Marco Polo during that because I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
So I'll watch like Family Guy or I'll watch 70s Show or Malcolm in the Middle. But yeah, cool. So we have a lot to talk about this week. So we had Runefest and we had just a shit ton of updates and like kind of dev blogs. So there's a lot to talk about. So let's start going over it. Yeah. So yeah, we speculated a bunch about the raids, but they kind of talked more about it and during Runefest. It's still kind of hard to see what they're kind of going for. It's different from your traditional World of Warcraft raid or your if you ever played Destiny, that raid there. So the dungeon's going to scale to the team size as well as the combat level. So I'm not sure at what point like you're not going to be able to do it. What combat level is going to be kind of required. You're not going to have. I don't think you're going to be able to have like 5 level 3s running in there. Cool.
Yeah, I kind of hope that like. I hope that the dungeons only scale up as opposed to down. Like, if there's, agree. 5 level 100s and a 126, I'd rather have it for the 126, just so you can, like, carry people and, spend money to just get put into a raid and win.
Yeah, that's true, because it could easily, if it averages the combat level. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, they're going to be randomized maps as well. I don't know if it's going to be, like, 5 maps that'll kind of cycle through, or if it's going to be randomly generated maps. If you've ever played, like, roguelike games, they're kind of similar to that, where the maps change every time. Actually, the skill in RuneScape 3 Dungeoneering, I believe, is like that. So, within the raids themselves, they're going to have some skilling challenges. So, maybe you have to cross a bridge, and you'll need to actually make the bridge. So, fletching level or wood cutting level or construction level needs to be high enough to do it. And within the raid itself, it's going to have resources. Again, similar to Dungeoneering, you could fish within kind of the dungeon. But I believe the way it's going to work out, you're going to be able to bring in an inventory of food, so you could bring in a full set of Ceradomin brews, sorry. But once you run out, you're going to need to fish and do stuff within the raid itself. So I wonder if you're going to be expected to burn through an inventory during your first boss or maybe during the mobs. I don't know. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a lot of your inventory space will be dedicated for certain skills. So maybe like that's going to play a part into it, but who knows?
Yeah, it sounds cool. So the way the loot system's going to work, it's going to be kind of based on a point system. So there's going to be 2 types of points. You'll have team points and kind of solo points. So for you specifically. So the way you can gain points is for like yourself is by actually as a team as well is by doing skill challenges and killing bosses. I believe gathering resources, just things within the raid. And the way you get points is by actually doing them. So if you're the one who maybe does the skill challenge, or maybe you do the most damage on the boss, you'll get most of the points. So the way the points work is the more points your team has, the more loot you have. I believe it's more loot and not better loot, so you'll just have more loot. And then the better solo points you have is a bigger portion of that loot. So that's cool. It'll be... Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be per boss or per the whole raid.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. And if you die within the raid, you'll spawn at the beginning, and you'll have your items, but you'll lose points. So it will affect your loot. So that's good. That gives a reason not to die, like, because you're going to be losing maybe potential extra loot. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like this. It's kind of like a lot of things that we talked about last episode. What we want to see, they actually are like, yeah, this is where like the scaling of the raids and like the skilling and stuff as well. And then it's nice. Yeah, it's like little. They kind of just made dungeoneering into a raid, but not really. They incorporated aspects of it. It's nice.
Exactly, and they made it unique. Like I don't think I've ever seen a raid like this in any other games. And like, I know that word's thrown around a lot within MMO games, but this is cool. This could be awesome. It could lead to maybe different styles of these types of raids in the future. But
yeah, exactly.
Let's not push for more loot. But yeah, they'll be releasing. They plan to release this before Christmas, so it's great. That's that's in the near future. So that's probably be the next big update, I believe.
Yeah, it'll give us time to get ready for raids.
Yeah, exactly. And so they also talked about releasing a Fight Caves 2. So it's going to be similar to like the Jad fight. It's going to be like a whole new area as well. It's going to be an area called Brimstone, which is going to feature a new obsidian race called the Tasakal. Similar to how the Tazar on Karemsha. So it's going to be like a high-level challenge. And from what they've kind of told, it seems like it's going to be a lot harder than Jad. Like, a lot of people think of Jad as a joke, so they want to make this kind of, good luck. It's going to give you a new best in slot cape for melee. I believe you're going to have to turn in the fire cape as well with it. But within the Brimstone, they're releasing a new tier of armor. So similar to how Obsidian did with weapons. Not Obsidian did with weapons. The Tazar did with weapons. This is going to be more based on armor, I believe. So it's cool. I guess it'll give mid-level players a more variety between Dragon and Obsidian now. I guess they had Granite before, but who's using that?
Yeah, I think Obsidian armors in RS3.
Possibly.
I think so. I swear I've heard about it. I actually don't know. But I swear I've heard something like that in RS3.
Well, great. Now it's not going to pass the polls, man. You got to keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, like, during the Runefest, they dropped a lot of what they have planned out for the year. So they have another idea for another island. Yeah, another island. I was going to say continent, but it's not going to be the size of Zaya. It's called Fossil Island. It's going to be a dig site and museum update, little expansion to it. So that's awesome. That's an older kind of addition to the game that not a lot of people do. A lot of people might do the museum, but that's just for the diaries. So it's cool. I'm glad they're actually trying to give reason to go back to these places.
Yeah.
So the expansion from the museum and dig site, but it's also an expansion to God Wars. So maybe we'll see new armors, new weapons, new bosses. But it's cool because the Fossil Island was actually designed in 2006. So I guess they, came up with the idea, the concept of it, just left it there. But they found it, so I guess they decided to work off of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's also going to be a new Wyvern that's going to drop a new Wyvern crossbow. So it's interesting we're getting another crossbow or new, another style.
Is it like best in slot, or is it like under, like, have they released anything about like how good it is?
No, they haven't. But I'm going to imagine it's going to be, more end game because Wyverns are kind of a high level, like the skeletal Wyverns. I couldn't imagine these being like level 30s.
Yeah.
So I don't know, probably safe to assume it's just under an armor crossbow or something?
It's hard to say. I don't know.
Well, only time will tell, I guess.
And they're also bringing an expansion to hunting, mining, agility, fishing, slayer, prayer, combat, and player-owned house. So I believe that's just construction in general. And yeah, I guess it's gonna have new weapons and armors for mid-levels too. So it seems like they have a lot planned for mid-level players.
Which is nice though, because like mid-level needs it, like for just like the fun of leveling. Like if you're new to RuneScape, like you kind of like, I guess if you're brand new, you don't really, you know, there's enough options. But I guess if you're coming back from like, oh, I played this back when I was a kid, I mean, it'd be kind of nice to see like, oh, cool, they've actually added like new weapons for me. I'm like a level 60. I can actually use this stuff. I'm not stuck with Rune to Dragon, and then I'm done for pretty much like a long time.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna affect like fresh players because as it is, low levels and mid levels have a shit ton of content to play with. Even at, like end game, there's a ton of content as well. But this game is just littered with content for all levels. But a lot of us are kind of we've done it before, so it's all stale to us.
Yeah, it actually kind of. Sorry, go.
No, what I was gonna say is what this is. I think this is gonna be cool, and this is also talking about the obsidian armor and stuff. This might bring, I don't know, a new scene to PKing. You know what I mean? Like
I was actually just gonna say that.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's what it's. I think that's gonna be who is gonna be the most interested in it.
Yeah.
Most people are gonna pick it up and drop it, but
yeah, I want to see like the new types of pures and stuff that come out, because like, even like when they brought the Desire Caves, like or the like Jad and all that stuff, and the Obby Mall, like the Obby PKers came out. The people, like I don't see them anymore, but using those rings, I have no idea what they're called. I never see them.
Yeah, I can't remember either. I can't remember any of the names for any of them.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it'd be cool to.
You actually do see it in Edgeville. When I went PKing last weekend, I saw some people using it, and I can't really tell. I couldn't compare it to like rune throwing knives or anything like that. But if people are using it, it's for a reason. Whether it's cheap and good or
there's definitely some sort of benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like it's definitely nice.
So then the last thing they announced at Runefest was a Trollum expansion. When I say expansion, I just mean like an update towards it. So I don't know how big it's going to be, but this is a whole new troll quest line, and it's going to introduce a new troll city, which is it's going to appear around Trollum, and it's going to be near God Wars. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to have anything to do with God Wars, but it's in that area. But it's going to give you a new fire making uses. So they said there's going to be fixed locations. I don't know if it's going to be all of RuneScape or just the troll area, but you can light them, and I think they'll give you temporary boosts or something like that when you're around it, or maybe for a temporary time, something like that. So that's kind of cool. It seems like they're focusing a lot on fire making, but I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of the worst skills.
Yeah.
Like, my biggest issues were agility, rune crafting, and fire making, and they seem to be like throwing a lot of things in the mix for all those. Like, well, agility a while ago, they haven't really touched upon it in a while, and they will, with Fossil Island and stuff, but yeah, it's nice. They're making the boring skills a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, that's always cool.
Yeah.
So that was it for Old School RuneScape at RuneFest. But there's actually, when I was watching, I got kind of carried away and just watched it more than I was expecting to. And I was watching some of the RuneScape 3 stuff, and I saw there was one update they were talking about, and I thought it sounded awesome. And I started thinking about if Old School RuneScape could maybe see something like this. But I just want to talk about it quickly. So the RuneScape 3 is getting a weather system, and it's gonna change the gameplay within whatever weather's going on. So whatever that means, I don't know. That sounds cool. The concept of that, pretty cool. You're gonna be able to see gradual weather changes. So I'm assuming it won't go from sunny to rainy or sunny to snow out of nowhere. You'll see it gradually shift to that, and the weather can actually affect the environment. So let's say a giant flood happens on Karamja. I think this is the example they used. You might see the volcano, cool off and dry up or something like that. All the lava inside cool off. So, I don't know. When I heard that, I thought that was kind of really cool. And, I don't know, I just got thinking. It'd be cool to see things like that in RuneScape, Yeah, I know we have a black skybox, but,
I I mean, it's nice that they're actually trying things that haven't really been done before in MMOs. Like for RS3, like, yeah, this weather system could be really good, or, you know, it could be EOC 2.0. It could just
Yeah.
like, well, we can't go to Cramden today because it's flooded and we're going to get pushed out to some random place. Like,
Yeah. So I was thinking about incorporating this with old school RuneScape. Now I'm not. You know, this is probably a very unpopular opinion, but it was just something I was thinking about how you could spice things up. Imagine if the weather did change around RuneScape, and you could. There's a new skill that got introduced that you could kind of manipulate the weather. You know, maybe it's if it's raining somewhere, there's, you know, at certain level you could use that rain to give you little boosts, or maybe your health regens faster or something. I don't know, it's just an idea. It kind of reminded me of Slayer. I know Slayer had some really overpowered parts, and that's why people are split on it. But I don't know. I always try to think of new skills I could always bring into RuneScape, because RuneScape seems like it's covered a lot when it comes to things like that.
yeah.
And that's something that seemed fresh and new. That was just an idea. It was just fun to play around with. But yeah. So after Runefest, they actually released some, like a dev blog explaining of an update they're gonna have pulled, as well as some pulled content that got updated to the game. So the dev blog was talking about the Orania altar. So if you played back in 2007, you might remember this, because I believe it came right after God Wars. I don't actually remember this because I stopped playing, and when I came back a couple times after, I never paid attention. So you can use it to craft pure rune essence into a random selection of runes. And the runes that it makes, it's going to give you 2 times experience. And from my understanding is, even if you're level 3, you still have a very small chance to get a blood rune. Level 1 rune crafting. But the higher level you are, the better chance you are of getting those. So I guess higher level you are, you'll stop getting, you know, waters and airs and shit like that. So
yeah, I kind of hope they take like a motherlode mining approach where like you can only get the runes that are for your level.
Yeah.
Like I would like that, but you know,
I'd be okay with that too. Like when I saw this, I kind of was like, oh, you know, do we really need this? But I saw some of the arguments, and I don't do rune crafting too much. The only time I do rune crafting is for money. So I could see why this was never really a big issue to me. I don't really have any desire to level it up, besides to make more money. But I saw people saying this is something that should be welcomed in, because rune crafting is a pretty brutal skill. It's the slowest per hour. On top of that, it's not
click
very
intensive.
much. Yeah, it's not AFKable, and it's not the most fun.
It's click intensive, but somehow not engaging. Like you're just walking. Like that's it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you know, that is a fair argument, you know. So, at first I was kind of on edge, but after reading some stuff like that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I agree. This should come into the game. Let's make people shouldn't bitch about it devaluing your skill, because I don't know. People worry about too much about other people's play styles, I think.
I think people just want bragging rights. I like devalue your rune crafting. Like I've never looked at someone like, wow, they have 99 rune crafting. Like I just kind of shrug. It's like, oh, you know, good on them, I guess. Like
yeah, exactly.
They think everyone cares, but like I don't know. Like a level is just a level. Like okay, cool, good for you that you spent like thousands of hours running, but like I don't want to do that. Like if I have the potential to not do that, I'm gonna take it.
Is there any skill in this game that if you see a skill cape for, you're actually like, damn, like you get impressed?
Slayer.
Slayer?
I think Slayer is the only skill cape where I'm like, well, one, I think it looks the coolest. Like Slayer and Thieving, I think are the coolest looking capes, just in my opinion. But like Slayer is like, yeah, you're just killing monsters. Like you're cannoning when you can if you're trying to do it as fast as possible. But like, you know, most people when they level, like if someone has 99 Slayer, they have other 99 combats for sure. Well, not for sure, but most likely.
Well, and if you don't, that's even more impressive.
Yeah, exactly. Because like how many times I've seen people, like I have a friend who's like 110 or 115 or something, and his total level is super low because all he does is like NMZ for his stats and go bossing. Like he doesn't skill at all, and you're like, like he just like guffed an NMZ when it was like a thing. and and all that stuff, which is fine. Like, play the game how you want to play, but it's kind of like it's not cheating, but it's definitely like leveling combat in an unfair way. You're abusing NMZ, which is fine. Like, I have NMZ to crap ton. Like, I'm not ragging on it. Like, but yeah, it's just definitely more impressive when someone has like a really high Slayer level.
I agree, and I was thinking like if there's any other skills that would impress me, and I think construction is the only other skill that I would actually like. Oh fuck! If I saw someone with it.
Yeah, because you're like, man, they spent a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, and that's similar to Slayer. Like, if you have 99 construction, you either staked a lot, or you probably have another 99.
Yeah.
And farming, too, I think, because farming, I would think it's a bit harder to kind of grind out.
Well, that's the thing. Like, once you get a system going for farming, like, when I can't bring myself to do it anymore, just because, like, I don't know, I just stopped, but you pretty much would just do it in the morning and do it before you went to bed. That type of thing. You just plan out a route, you pull out the inventory that you can just efficiently run everywhere and do it quickly. And it's, like 10, 20 minutes depending on like how big your route is. And then you just kind of like run that, and over time, it just kind of happens. You gotta like really be persistent with it though.
You can get some really good experience with it if you just do fruit trees, and I guess the other trees too, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when I think of farming, I always think, like, if you plan on getting a 99, like, that's something I never think of myself working towards that as 99. That's more something I get along the way. And, like, oh, look at this. I'm at 90 farming just because I needed herbs.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, though. You can make so much money through farming. Like, with Mars and Snapdragons and stuff. It's like the herbs in general, with, like, the magic secateurs and all that crap. Like, you can... Yeah, you make good money doing it.
Yeah, and I was doing it at one point. I would plant the poison ivy berries, I believe, or is it white berries? I can't remember, but I'd plant those too, and a few other things, and I'd make like this. It would take me like 2 hours, but I'd run around the whole entire map, just collecting stuff, and you make a pretty penny. Like, you do the mushroom patch in Canifis, and you do the cactus in Alcarad. Like, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, all I did was the 2 Faladors, Taverley, like Camelot, or not Camelot, sorry, Artie, and the place with the ectoplasms.
Yeah,
I forget what it's called. Why can't it Port Phasm or whatever?
Yeah,
that was just my road. Just, I could easily teleport everywhere.
So we actually, besides, we'll move on from the dev blocks. We did get a little bit of an update. It's nothing too much. They were just kind of like quality of life things. So the only things I really want to, I think, worth mentioning, you can look through it yourself, is little tweaks to, this store owner sells 100 jugs of water now instead of 10. So things like that. But fairy rings can now teleport anywhere. Cool. I never really had a problem with it before, but, not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely annoying when you're, like, questing or something, or you just need to use it a lot. It definitely is a pain in the ass, or it was. But, I'm fine with the changes. It was never too big of an issue for me, though.
Yeah, and Dead Man Invitationals have started, or are starting. I don't know if they have or not, but October 1st is when they're going to have the Dead Man tournament. So definitely going to tune in to watch that. I feel like each year it gets better. So.
Yeah, no, it's like people come up with like really new and like interesting strategies, and I mean, hopefully they get the poison down correctly, because it seems like every time it's just a tank test
for the most part. But it seems like from season 1 or the first tournament to the second, they did like it was a lot better. So
yeah,
we'll have to see, because if it's worse this time, then it's just like, okay, fuck it, just stop doing the tournaments.
Yeah. But
it's really good exposure for the game. It becomes like the third top game on Twitch the 2 times it was up there, or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely fun to watch. Like, I think though, like last time, I think like Bodhi had more people watching him than actual like RuneScape, the RuneScape stream. But mainly
I can see why
he was just running around killing everything.
Mm-hmm. Like I originally watched like the RuneScape stream, and then I found out like, oh man, it was like way better. Like everyone enjoyed it way more. So I actually went back, and he might have actually uploaded on his YouTube channel. I don't remember, but I went and watched that, and I was like, definitely have like a nice approach to it. Like everyone hides, but he's like actively looking for people and killing them. So hopefully,
it'd be cool if more people were Yeah, it would be cool if more people did that. As well as I'd love for clans, like the whole clan, to have that Mongolian attitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like that's
Kill
kind of what
everything
happened in
inside.
Barbarian at the Outpost near the end. You would see like the three big clans that were there. They're all kind of like
Chinning and stuff.
Yeah. It was super neat to watch.
But like, I don't want things to stall until like the little battle arena of poison happens.
Yeah.
I'd love it for just like a clan to walk into Varrock and just kill everyone on sight.
Yeah, no, they gotta like they have to trap them in an area, but then they just need someone to start attacking first. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, everyone's all hesitant.
yeah.
But I'm sure we'll see it get better and better with each year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That we actually got through that a lot faster than I expected. I guess we didn't really ramble on about anything, but
Yeah. Well, I was actually gonna mention, like, what do you think about like the new cape and stuff that they talked about?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say because, a lava cape to me is still something impressive. Like, I'm still working towards to get it, and like, I'm kind of not afraid to get it, but I don't want to lock myself in for an hour and then not get it again because it's happened so many times before.
Well,
I might do it this weekend, I think, but
you're able to log off in between rounds.
yeah, I know, but I want to do it all one shot.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I found there was key points that threw me off when I was doing it. It was when the first time the mage spawned, and I think it's when the mage and the ranger spawns, and then just Jad. Those but like a lot of it's just, you just gotta know the key rounds where like, oh, now I gotta protect like magic or something. But I don't know. I found like, yeah, you're gonna die to Jad if you're panicking. Like
that's the thing. I'm in a fucking vicious cycle because I start panicking and shaking when I get to that boss because I go, man, I've died 9 times to him. This is the time I'm gonna get him. And then because I'm shaky, I die. Like, I'll mess up once and he'll hit me and I might not die, but then I can't get back on track.
yeah.
So then I die and I have to restart it. So then I get to the boss again. I'm just like, man, this is my 11th time or my 10th time. And I get even worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I found with me, my first attempt, I got him down to like 10%. And then I started to panic. And then I died. So then, I was like, oh, I got this. And then a couple, I think once actually I didn't even get to him. I just like forgot to pray magic and I just died. But yeah, I got to a point where like I would get halfway through them and then I would just mess up the pray flicks. I would start to panic, be like, oh, this is it. I'm gonna get it. And then like my last, I think it took me 5 attempts or something. I actually messed up super hard. Like what I did was like I tagged all like the guys that healed Jad. You're supposed to tag them so they attack you instead of like healing them. Mm-hmm. But where I was standing, they were all able to surround me and hit me. And me being an idiot, like I'm focusing so much on praying and like eating or drinking my Cerberus and stuff that like I almost died. So I had to like run them into like a line so only one could hit me at a time. And I ended up killing Jad and I had no potions whatsoever. I was completely out of potions and I had like 8 health or something.
That's
like it was so close. Only because I panicked though. Like if you stay calm and you're like, all right, this is the sound and like animation for mage and range. It's pretty easy. Like I'm kind of excited to once I get my pure set up, I'm gonna go for the lava cape.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try it again this weekend.
But that being said, though, like I was thinking, like I don't know exactly how you're gonna be able to like obtain this new cape, like the new like lava cape. I guess the best in slot, but like if I'm gonna like reword it, like not to devalue a lava cape, but like Jad will become like a dead content, like 100% dead unless he's incorporated somehow with this. Like if you need like a lava cape and then you get like a material from this new boss and you put them together to make like an obsidian cape, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, that's what it's gonna be
like
actually.
Oh,
yeah,
is
it will
it?
be
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
good. Yeah,
I'm 90% sure it's gonna be that.
It should, because like the only time people ever go there is if they have a Slayer task for it. Because it is pretty good. It's like 20 or 30k or something for a kill, plus all the Slayer experience.
I have a Slayer task for it.
Go get that done.
I know. I'm gonna do it this weekend. But yeah, no, I'm okay with the new best in slot cape. Like what I was gonna say was, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I don't know if we need it. But the only reason I say that is because I I haven't got Lava Cape yet, but Lava Cape came out such a long time ago. It's a really cool cape, but come on, I wouldn't mind seeing another cape.
I love the lava. Like, I've always loved the look of it, and like, man, I remember the first time I got my Lava Cape, I was so like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, best in slot cape, like, yeah, what up? Like, I don't know, and it's fun, like, learning the fight and whatnot. I mean, you get to a point where you're like, oh, I gotta do it again. Like, I'm excited to do it on my pure once I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like, once I finish all the quests and all that stuff, I'm gonna like immediately jump over to Jad and get that ASAP.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's definitely, I don't know. Well, once they release more info about the cape,
Yeah, they showed some concept ideas of what they want it to look like, and they're pretty much going to keep it, like, I feel like it's going to look like a normal fire cape, but with, like, a trimming or something like that.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Very small details, maybe, like, I don't know, maybe it'll have shoulder pads. We'll go full World of Warcraft on this bitch.
Yeah, huge ass shoulder pads that like go over your head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. There's everything else seems, pretty alright, I guess. Fossil Island seems like a cool idea. We'll have to see till we get for more information, because I'm a little, to be honest, I'm a little more hesitant on the Wyvern crossbow. Like, what's it going to replace? What's it going to do? Is it going to be something that's got like a small niche for like uses, or is it going to be the new best in slot? Is it going to be something to be a cheaper, an alternative to, say, the Armadillo crossbow? I don't know.
Yeah, no, like, I don't know. I like how I don't know, like, they have a lot of good ideas in the making. I just hope they can execute it out properly.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I don't see a place for a crossbow, so I wonder what ideas they have for it.
Yeah, no, exactly, right? Like, I think it would be kind of, because it's kind of lame to go from, like, Rune to Carol's to, like, or I guess Arma to Carol's. I don't even know. I guess Arma's better than Carol's. Well, it is, but
like, I don't see many people using Carol's, because I think it's kind of expensive and hard.
It's,
like, bolt
it's a
racks
gimmicky
and stuff,
thing. Like,
right?
I only see people like PKing with it. Like, you can only use like the Carol bolts or whatever, and like, like they
it's a gimmick. That's what I think it is too. Because I remember you used to use it for the fight pits. I remember that was your go-to for Jad. But all the guides that I've looked up now, they say Rune crossbow.
Yeah, it's crossbow or blowpipe.
Yeah, or blowpipe, one of the two. So,
but, yeah, like, I actually would kind of be down to have another gimmicky crossbow though, like something like in the realm of Carol's, where it's like, obviously there's better options, but like, just like a cool thing to use in like PvP, I guess, just like PK.
Yeah. It's viable. You can bring a Carol's crossbow and you can do some damage. Some
I think it's hard. I just think the main thing is that you can't use enchanted bolts with it.
Yeah, and it's two-hand and stuff. But man, that thing's probably the coolest looking weapon when you're holding it.
Yeah, it's pretty badass when you're shooting it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's basically it for updates. So let's move on. What do you want to talk about this week?
So I actually want to talk about how, like, membership bonds affect RuneScape, and just kind of, like, what your opinion is. Like, we can figure out pros and cons, and, like, is it good for the game? Is it bad?
Okay, so just to clarify, when you say bonds, are you talking about the idea of microtransactions in old-school RuneScape, or are you talking about just bonds specifically?
Well, if there are microtransactions, I'd only want them to be bonds, like, where you...
Yeah, obviously.
Like that, I don't want like a spin the wheel, I might win 200 mil type thing. I'm against microtransactions, but like, I'm not too sure about the bonds, so I'm mainly just talking about the bonds. Like, I don't think anyone wants microtransactions in old school.
What are your thoughts on bonds?
Like, I'm actually, when I first like thought of this, I was pretty against it. But, like, the more I kind of, like, I wrote down, like, a pros and cons list, I'm actually, like, pretty split. Like, I personally, I'm not a big fan of them. Like, for myself, like, I don't want to be using bonds, just, I don't know, like, that's just, like, my personal, like, I just don't want to. But I totally understand, and I, like, don't mind that other people are buying them or whatever. Like, but, I don't know, like, for more of, like, specifics, like, it is nice that like players are able to play for free if they're able to make enough money and like, you know, a nice incentive to make more money, I guess, and play more. Like there's a good money sink in that. And yeah, you know, get rid of some of the, like all of the money out of the economy. And yeah, it kind of just, it lets people like, you know, focus on what they want to do. Like, you know, like who wants to compete with bots, with Chinchampas, or sit down and do Zara just, you know, for money so they can go and train combat skills or something, or a skill. Like if they would rather, and they're able to, you know, buy a bond and level it up, like, you know, why not? Like let the person like get to the fun parts ASAP. Yeah. And, you know, makes Jagex more money, which is pretty nice, and it gives them, you know, we can get better updates and better, like a bigger team eventually, which is really nice. But on the flip side of the whole, like, it takes away from the tedious grind, depending on the type of player and if they're new to the game or whatever, it, like, if you get bonds, like, early on into the game, like, it, or just in general, it can actually just ruin your experience for bonds. Like, I have a friend who did this with Guild Wars 2, where he would buy, like, essentially, well, the game's free to play, but buy their game currency and then exchange it for, like, you know, like, the Guild Wars 2, like, currency for cosmetics, he exchanged it for actual gold. And for, like, him, he just never wanted to actually make gold in the game, so he ends up spending so much money, and he can't really, like, play the game. That's not, like, too good of an example. Like, a better example, actually, is, like, when I first got into EVE Online, what happened was, I was talking to this one dude who was, like, telling me all about it. I'm like, oh, man, you know, I've always wanted to play it, I'll give it a try. So he, like, sent me a referral, and I, like, started playing. And the way, like, the reason why I'm mentioning EVE is because EVE has, like, a membership bond that has the exact same concept. It's had it for a very, very long time. And when you, like, recruit someone and they end up, like, buying a month or something like that, then you would get essentially a bond. And like, everything's super inflated in, like, EVE. But so yeah, so what happened was, this guy, like, yeah, he got me to play, you know, I ended up liking it, so I played it for a couple months, but what ended up happening is he got this, like, the bond, essentially, and he gave it to me, and he's like, yeah, man, here, just take it and just go sell it, man, you'll be super good in cash. And so I went and sold it, like, almost immediately, and, like, EVE is super time-gated, like RuneScape, but it's kind of worse, where, like, you know, I could buy, say, in RuneScape, like, hey, I'm like, you know, I'm a level 3, and someone gave me a bond and I went and sold it, and like, oh, I can buy full, like, you know, rune now and dragon weapons, but you can't use it. So then your whole time is, like, spent grinding out for those items, and then you're kind of like, wait, I could, you know, buy I could buy a whip, or, you know, I'm just using that as an example. But, like, the game just turns into, like, you're trying to catch up and be able to use what you're able to afford, but, like, if you're newer to the game, like, and this is what killed it, this is why I don't play EVE anymore, like, half of the game is making enough money for, like, the best in slots you can afford, or, you know, supplies. Like, if you take that whole thing out of the equation, like, you just, alright, now I'm just gonna sit here and play. Like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of bossing if you can buy money? Like, what's the point of doing anything besides, like, getting levels? And it really does kill, like, half the grind and, like, kind of half the fun. Like, in the end, you don't really get to, like, accomplish. It doesn't feel as accomplished, at least for me, like, when I was, like, happened to me in EVE, like, yeah, you get to a certain point where you're like, oh man, like, I should be super happy I got this, you know, new thing, like, this best item or best ship in my case, but you're kind of just like, well, time to go on to the next one, because this is shit compared to what I can actually get. Like, I don't know. I find, bonds it could ruin people's experiences. And it's kind of like my whole summary of it, I guess. What do you think about it?
Well, I think you pretty much said a lot of my arguments there. I think it's a perfectly good thing to have in RuneScape. I think it's a win-win for the most part. Really, I think when people complain about bonds, the person they're complaining about is that person who drops $100 on bonds on a Friday night because they wanted to buy a third age item of some sort. You know what I mean? The
Yep.
people who have the money, they can just drop tons and tons of money and they don't need to work towards anything. And it comes down to just people, I guess, kind of worrying about other people's progress and how they play the game. But
oh yeah, exactly. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, what you're doing, like, I shouldn't really care what you're doing unless you're, like, just ragging on me in PvP or something. Then I can get pissed. But, like, other than that, yeah, like, I do agree with that.
But what I wanted to say was, like, the people that... Lost my train of thought. Shit.
Yeah,
but what I wanted...
like... Sorry, go.
No, what I wanted to say was, majority of people are just are benefiting from it. And the fact that, let's say me, let's say I wanted to buy some ice bursts to level up my mage to 94. And you know, I actually did this. I bought 2 bonds, I believe. I bought the 2 bonds because it's a pain in the ass to spend all weekend alking just to get 94 magic. And like, I'm probably not even gonna fucking do that because I'll get bored and go find something else to do. Next thing you know, I didn't do any alking. I didn't play RuneScape at all. So if I can kind of bypass that by, you know, dropping a little bit of money, you know, $20 to me isn't that big of a deal. If I can spend 1 hour working and spend that money of 1 hour of worth of work on, let's say, 2 bonds, and then I could prevent myself from having to alk for 6 hours, and instead I'm ice bursting for 3 hours, then fuck yeah, I'm going to do that because it's, you know, it helps save time. Now, if you're doing that for every skill, and that's, you know what I mean, you're constantly doing that, then I can see the problem a bit. Like, really, what are you enjoying? But, you know, you buy the odd bond here or there just because, you know, most of us don't have as much time as we did when we were a kid. You know, so, you know, I would like to PK. I don't want to spend, you know, months grinding to that stat. At the same time, I don't mind the grind. I do enjoy the grind, but the grind is very intense. So, you know, unless you have, you know, 10 hours a day to spend playing it's going to hard for you to reach your goals, especially when your goal's an end game kind of goal. So, and yeah, the point I want to make is in the end, the reason bonds are worth the money they're worth is because somebody wants them.
Yeah, exactly.
The demand's there. There's enough people who aren't spending money to play this game that there are people spending money to get items in the game. Does that make sense?
You know, that totally does make sense. Like, bonds wouldn't be where they're at right now if people didn't want them. And I mean, and weren't selling them too, right? Like I guess there's more people that want to buy them than sell them. That's just kind of how I feel about it, just because, you know, free membership and whatnot. Like, I do like how it gives, even though, like, I don't like, I pay for my membership, I don't use bonds, but, like,
it's a very controversial, it's very, like, debatable, because, like, when I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm just, like, at the same time, like, you know, part of me feels like it is cheating to buy, let's say, $50 worth of bonds and go ice burst your way from 70 magic to 94 magic. Part of me feels like that is a little bit cheating, but at the same time, realistically, like, you know, let's say you had kids. Should you not be able to enjoy RuneScape because you have kids and you don't have the time to grind out the stats needed to enjoy some of the best content in the game?
Yeah, you know, like, that is actually, like, a really good point about, like, yeah, I do think the people that are super against bonds are the people that actually have time. Like, let's say, like, a year ago, I like, you know, I'm super against bonds, but, like, now I have less time. I can, like, totally understand where people are getting at. Like, even, like, leveling up my pure, it's like, man, this shit's gonna take forever for, like, prayer. Like, I'm gonna have to go make some money on my main to get, you know, 52 prayer for my pure, and then so I can buy the bones and, like, use them and shit. And it's like, or, you know, I could literally get 52 prayer by the end of this podcast.
Mm-hmm,
you know,
exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't, like, I don't know. I just feel that I would be, like, for me, it would just take away part of, like, what I enjoy in the game. Like, I love, like, I like that start where you have no money. Like, when you first start, like, playing the game, I love being, like a good example is, like, the Iron Man. It's like, okay, I really need this item. Like, how am I gonna get it? It's just, like, I like having that, like, you actually have to plan it out and, like, well, if I do this, I can, if I woodcut use, I could go and, you know, get enough money to buy full, like, barrow, like, D'Herrock or something, right? Like, I like having to figure out, and then once you get enough money and you buy it, you're like, oh, I can't wait to use this. I don't know, I feel that, like, buying bonds and all that kind of skips that whole feeling of like the whole progression of just like the anticipation, I should say. Like it kind of kills all anticipation. And well, like, yeah, no, if you don't have the time, like, you know, there's people that are like super limited in how they can play, and they play every day, but they're like level 60, right? Because they just have like 30 minutes themselves. Like, you know, maybe they, like, if people don't have any interest at all, if they're like, if they absolutely hate that whole grind of making money, then, you know, let them do what they want to do. But yeah, no, personally, like, yeah, I don't care if people do them, but I don't think I'd ever get a bond.
Yeah, like, and I'm talking from experience. Yeah, there's are a few times I buy bonds, and it's not like I don't do it often. I've done it maybe twice, but it's usually because like I was working towards a goal, and I'm going to use the PK angle because that was a huge thing back in the past when I played, and when I played RuneScape when it first came out 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and everyone started at level 3 again. Yeah, it was great to be a low level, and I had fun starting off from scratch again. But at the same time, I got to a point where I just like, man, I really just want to go PK because I did it a lot back in actual 2007, but I never was like, I never walked into the wilderness and I was like, yeah, this is my fucking zone. I know it inside and out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You're just really good and you're just a pro at it. I've always kind of wanted to do that. And you get to a point where you're just, you know, like the point where I am right now where I'm like, I just want 94 magic so bad because like I forgot how bad this grind was, and I plan on alking all the way up, and I realized it's gonna take forever, and I'll probably end up quitting in the way. So
Yeah, that would actually take months and months of elking.
yeah, and that's the problem. Like it's not that I don't mind putting the work into it, but that's not fun. I don't want to spend the 3 hours I have after work, spend it clicking and watching a yellow light flash. But
Yeah.
So instead, I'll buy some ice bursts to do it. And, you know, if you're going to be, let's say, if I went from 80 to 94 magic, you're going to be dropping a fair amount of cash. Like, I dropped, what was it, like $20 or $15 on the 2 bonds or whatever it was? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
go on.
I didn't, like, it got me some levels, but it didn't get me anywhere close. Like, if I wanted to buy... If I buy it, like, pay to win myself to 94 mage, it's probably going to cost me, like, at least $50.
Yeah, it's definitely like... Yeah, no, it's definitely like a good chunk of money just to, like, get your stuff up. But, like, I don't know, the one thing that I actually, like, a good pro to, I guess, bonds in general is, like, I actually wonder how many people were, like, oh, I could just bot this. You know, let me just go download a bot or something. And then, or they just, fuck it, you know, I'll just go buy a bond. Like, I wonder how many people have actually, like, because in the past, like, when botting was huge.
I don't think it's so much with botting. I think it's more with buying from a gold site, definitely.
Yeah, no, that's definitely big too, but I mean, like, I would probably bot to make money before I ever bought money, like, from a company, from, like, I would never do real world trading. I'd rather bot on my account to do real world trading, but now
botting
I'd rather
is a lot more detectable than real world trading.
Yeah, no, exactly though, but like it's in terms of, you know, I don't really want to spend money, but like on top of that, I would definitely spend $80 on on bonds or whatever before I'd ever touch a bot. Like I've never bought it, like I won't ever, but you know what I mean? Like I bet you a lot of people have been on the fence of like botting or something, and they've probably just gone to like either buying from a gold seller or like, you know, even Jagex. Like plenty of people are buying gold from Jagex because like, you know, it's legal. And if that wasn't a thing, they probably just end up buying it from a company.
Yeah, so I agree there, but with the whole botting thing, I think I'll have to disagree. So I think botting comes in more. Real world traders are doing that and then selling the gold, but I think the people, like the legit players that are doing it, they're doing it to bypass levels. They're not doing it for cash so much.
No, yeah, that's totally true.
But, and I can, you know, I may or may not have bought gold in the past. No, I've never bought, allegedly. In old school RuneScape, I've never actually done this. But back in the day, it must have been like 2013. So I remember Dungeoneering came out, and I went on my account. I must have just been really stoned or drunk or something, and it just... Because now I think back on this, is fucking retarded, but I just logged in. I was like, hey, it's RuneScape. Let's buy membership because why not? And I hadn't played it in 5 years. I logged in, and then I wanted to... And I had like... my account was meh. I gave away a lot of items. I'm pretty sure I gave away my account at that point, so I was playing on my peer. And I don't know why I did this. It was actually retarded now that I think back, but... So that's why I'm thinking I was either stoned or drunk, because I bought a 20 mil like worth of gold in RuneScape, and then I used that money to buy a bunch of just different armors and stuff, and I didn't do anything with the armors though. That's why I don't know why I did it. I would just sell the armor, go buy full infinity, sell all that, go buy full Guthans, sell all that, go buy full. I don't remember ever going and killing things because I didn't really play the game. I just came to see what was up, and next thing you know, I'm buying gold to, I don't know, invest.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, there's two people. I'm not going to say any names. There are two people I know, and I think you know both of them. Well, I know you definitely know both of them. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to give any names, but there's two people that I had gotten into RuneScape, and this is when I first really got into it. Like, I got on, I started playing on day one. And then I left and came back like a year or so later, and I was playing a lot with one of my old friends from school who ended up quitting and giving me a Fury and stuff. And his friend gave me a bunch of shit too, which was nice of them. They were just quitting. And yeah, a lot of people were giving me shit. I had free Robin, free 6 or 7 mil and a free Fury. And I was like, shit, what am I gonna do with this money? And my one buddy was like, all right, dude, you should learn how to merchant and stuff. And I pretty much I sold the Robin. I kept the Fury for training, obviously, but I started merching all my money, and I started I just became super money obsessed and whatnot. I remember I flipped Chinchompas for so much money at one point, and it's not like I was ever a billion. The most I ever had was 135 mil cash. That was my biggest cash stack I've ever had. Maybe it was 180, and it was a good amount. But yeah, it was yeah, I remember being super proud of myself making all of that money when I pretty much played the game for a couple months just trying to make as much money as possible, being as efficient with making money. And at this point I started getting bored of it, and I was all right, what am I gonna do now? And I started getting try to get with some of my friends to play, and I was hey man, I'll help you guys out, why not? I can help you guys, they'd played before or whatever. And anyway, so eventually a bunch of my friends start playing, and two of them had gone to 60-ish maybe, level 60. One of them was a pure, and then one of he just made a pure, and the other one just just pretty much recreated his old account. But they both pretty much were yo, can I just buy your cash stack? And the big point is that they're way too low of a level to be able to utilize any of it. I was too low of a level to utilize any of it. I just had a bunch of money. I just wasted on stupid shit and power leveled a bunch of stats and pretty much threw my money away eventually. Bought my bandos and whatnot. But yeah, no, they both were trying to pressure me into just selling them all the gold, and one of them offered me $300 or something. And I was I was so tempted to. It's cause why not? Shit, make some money, and then I can just rebuild it. I can just rebuild all that, and
yeah, I would have done that.
$300 for 100 mil. I was shit, man, I'm so down. But I ended up just not doing it because one, I didn't want to get banned. I probably wouldn't have gotten banned, and then two, it's not the $300 is gonna change my day-to-day life. But I'd still be sitting down at that time playing RuneScape a lot of in my free time and whatnot. I don't know. I just decided not to do it, and then eventually Bonds had come out, and he just all right, I'm gonna go buy a bunch of bonds. He went and bought a bunch of bonds, and it's kind of yeah, people want to get gold, they're gonna do it anyways. That's kind of the whole point I'm getting at. The one guy ended up just quitting. There's a long story, but yeah, at the end they're just gonna end up wanting to. They're gonna buy gold somewhere else. If there isn't bond. So I guess yeah, all in all, it's not a bad thing. It's definitely not super healthy, but it's definitely not a.
It's fine. I think it's good because you gotta keep in mind like I said, if you want this game to have you want this game to have as many people playing as possible, then you have to kind of cater a little bit to the people who don't have as much time as they used to, which is probably a good majority of the people that play this game. So, you guys sympathize a little bit.
Yeah, no, exactly, right? Like,
and be glad it's just it ends at bonds. It's not the spoil of fortune.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's a really like big point. Is that like they're definitely I can say 99% sure it's gonna start and end with bonds in terms of microtransactions. But like, I don't know, if you can buy bonds and it doesn't affect anyone and you're totally fine with it and you don't think it'll negatively impact you at all in like the way you play or whatever, enjoy your game. I mean, it's your account, right? It's not like I'm playing it for you. You can go do whatever the hell you want, and it's like no one's ever said like, holy shit, Deagan, you're an idiot, man. Why don't you just go buy bonds? Like, no one has ever, like, been telling me to go buy bonds, but yet people are always saying, like, oh, you're an idiot for buying bonds. Like, it just, no one should really care, you know? It's not, yeah, it's your account. Do whatever the hell you want with it. Just like, yeah, make sure you have fun with it in the end.
It's a controversial subject. I can see both sides. I can understand where both sides come from.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Cool. Yeah, bonds are cool. Bonds are alright. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, let's move on. Iron Man segment. Okay, so last week's challenge. The challenge was whoever can get the single best item worth in the, like, how much? The best valued item in the GE. We're going by OS Buddy's GE value. So... Yep. And the restriction was the only way you can get that item is through a drop from a monster. So, and rewards for other things too. So yeah, tell us about it. Wait. Don't tell us what item you chose until the end, and we'll both... Well, actually, no. You can tell the item you chose, but at the end, we'll both log in, and we'll go check the GE value of that item.
Okay. We're going by OS Buddy, or just like we going to the Grand
Buddy.
Exchange? Okay. Oh. So the second I start talking about my plan, like everyone's gonna know exactly what I did. But yeah, I'll just get into it. Pretty much from the challenge beforehand, I never got a hand in Fight Arena. So like, you know, I pretty much just ran in, handed that in instantly. Then I went to Varrock, and with the extra money I had left over, like the 6 or 7K I had left over from doing the Stronghold of Security, I went and bought a bunch of Mind and Air Runes, and then I went and bought a Fire Staff as well. And, you know, so I could do Fire Strike and start maging so I can go safe spot monsters. And, yeah, so I ended up, like, deciding that, like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, I'm pretty close at the time. I'm, like, 38 attack or something. I'm pretty close to a Rune Weapon. I'm gonna go get a Rune Scimitar. I'm gonna go to the Waterfall. Like, I've already done that quest. I'm just gonna go grind Fire Giants, and, you know, I'm definitely gonna get one. Like, it's, you know, 1 out of 128. I could definitely kill that many in 5 hours. And yeah, so that's pretty much what my plan was. So what ends up happening is, like, I go, and I didn't have, like, too many. I killed maybe, like 12 or something. Maybe around 12. Like, I had to airstrike for a little while and water and earth up to fire. But yeah, I probably killed, like, around 10, a round of runes. So I go and I need to make some money. So I went like down to Edgeville, and I went and started killing Chaos Druids until I got the pouch.
Do you have any strong valued items at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so I end up I go and I kill Chaos Druids for the looting bag. I got like one on my very first kill, which was nice. Then I just went and looted the steel plate bodies in the lava maze for a while. I came out with like oh shit, how much? Like probably like 30 or 40k worth of steel plates. And I just like would world hop and sell like 1 or 2 to Horvik or whatever, the armor guy in Varrock. Anyways, cool. I went and bought like a shit ton more of Mind, and I think I bought like 2,000 or 3,000 casts worth. Oh, I should mention I went to before I started this, I went to the Wizard Tower and I killed like the wizards until I got the blue wizard robe. Like the top for the magic bonus, and then I just use like the Amulet of Accuracy because I'm just assuming it helps. Yeah, so I go and I buy like like so many Fire Strikes, go to Fire Giants, I kill like 2, so I've killed like maybe 15 or something at this point, and Rune Scimitar ends up dropping. I'm like super excited, and I remember like I was about to send you a text and be like, yo, I just won, and then I was like, nah, you know what, I'm gonna wait. And I sat there maybe for like another hour. I ended up getting a second one. And, I got really lucky. And so that was kind of what my plan was the whole time. Just to sit there and... Because it also dropped some mithril, I believe it was like mithril square shield or something.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, that's going to definitely benefit me for like the armor that I need. But then I started thinking like, shit, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what you're going to do. Like, I haven't even thought about what your plan is. And usually, like, I'm a little bitch. I always try and figure out, like, hey, if I was you, like, what would my plan be? Because I know you like to plan like far in the future and stuff. So I'm trying to figure it out. And for some reason, I was like so paranoid. I came across at the conclusion that you're gonna go grind moss giants for a Renar seed because
that's like the most specific thing. I picture you at home, like over like a scrap piece of paper, and just it's the fucking moss giants. I fucking knew it.
I got like Gelnor or whatever up on my wall. I got like tacks and strings. Like, all right, he's gonna move here. He's gonna do these quests. But no, because I was thinking like I assumed that you knew I was gonna do that. Because I realized I was pretty... Because I listened to their old podcast, and I realized I was being like, really obvious what my plan was. I'm like, yeah, I just finished Waterfall, and I'm going to win next week. It's going to be sick. I'm going to be set up. Like, like I pretty much gave it away. So I'm like, shit, I don't think he wants to lose. And I looked up. I thought the scimitar was like 30k or something on the GE. It's like 14k or something. Or maybe a bit more. I actually haven't checked in, a couple days. But... So I'm like, shit, like... The easiest way for him to beat that is to go grind the moss giants because they're like just an uncommon as opposed to a rare, and it's like a 30k valued. And like, yeah, you could sit down for 30 minutes and go do that, but by the time I realized this, it was like 15 minutes left. I had 15 minutes and I actually couldn't get there in time to even start killing them. But yeah, like while I was like trying to figure out what you're doing, what I was doing is I was knocking off a bunch of quests. Like, what did I get done? I got Demon Slayer done, Dork's quest done, Ernest the Chicken. I got Rune Mysteries. I finished that up. Did Vampire Slayer, and I believe that was it. Yeah, so I got like enough for 33 quest points, and I started Dragon Slayer. And my plan was to go, and I actually like forgot to talk to a guy, so I'd actually go buy the anti-fire shield. But yeah, my plan was to pretty much go get the anti-fire shield, go to Taverley, and then do the thing, kill like the jailer and whatnot. At least I believe I can do this. I actually don't know if I can, but I just kind of heard you can do this. And then you can get the Dusty Key. And I was going to run to the Black Demons there and kill them in hopes I get like a rune chain body, or like a rune medium. At this point, it's kind of like if I lose, I lose, but I kind of just like really wanted to get that done, but yeah, I didn't have enough time. I forgot to talk to the dude, and I didn't even remember there's a black demon in the wilderness, like by the Chaos Druids, until you mentioned it to me. But yeah, that was pretty much it.
Oh, that's pretty funny. I mean, that's pretty good. It's just funny because the whole time you think you figured out my plan, and then you tell me it, and I'm just like, man, way off.
Yeah, no, like I realized like now that it's like, what the hell would he do with one Renar seed? It would be so long until you're like, all right, I'm going to get my farming, and I'm going to, yeah, it's definitely the last thing you're expecting, but, or yeah, what you're going to do. But anyways, what was your plan?
So I decided I was going to try, for a little bit, see how it went. I want to try something else and see what the potential was. So I decided to go the clue scroll route. Holy crap, I can't talk. So I went to Edgeville and I killed level 2 men to get some clue scrolls. And I killed about 10 of them, and I got an easy clue scroll. So I went and completed it. And do you want to know what item I got? Or should I save it till the end?
Oh, shit.
I'll just tell you now, because...
Yeah, you should tell me now. It's going to bug me. I won't pay attention. I'll just try and figure out what you got. But go on.
I got a Saradomin page, my first...
Oh, my God.
So they're not actually worth that much.
How much are they?
Like 4K, I think.
Oh, I was thinking like 200K or something for some reason.
Oh. So I got excited, and I'm still excited because they're pretty hard to get. To get a full book, pages are awesome on an Iron Man. Yeah. On top of that, you get some black armor. Really, what I wanted to do, the clue scrolls, I forgot what armor came with it. I want to see if I can get some gear that I could use. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, fucking, I got a Saradomin page. That's lucky. Let's try to get let's go do another clue scroll. I killed 3 men and get another clue scroll.
Holy shit.
I go complete it, and fucking, I got a black wizard top gold.
No.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So we'll find out how much that's worth. So I say that's great. I'm really lucky. Let me go do one more clue scroll. So I went and did one more clue scroll, and I got a fucking master clue scroll.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, I don't know how to feel about that, because that's lucky to get, but I can't complete that anytime
like
soon.
level 30 or whatever.
Yeah, so after that, I was like, I probably should have kept going. I would have got Zamorak pages or something, but I just
the
decided
Iron
to go do
Man luck.
quests.
I never even thought about clue scrolls.
I got all that within the first 40 minutes. I was like, huh. And then you were messaging me. You're just like, I'm pretty sure I won this one, and I was like, oh man, he's either way off or he's doing clue scrolls too, and he got something worth 3 mil or something. So
God damn.
Yeah, and then I did Waterfall Quest, and I went into what other quest? Why don't I take notes? I just forget.
Yeah, just went.
I started doing recipe for disaster, so I'm starting to. I started it, so now I got to start knocking off, each section. So let's log into our guys and let's see what we're worth.
I mean, I have. Do you want to know? Do you want to know what my 3 best items are?
Sure.
Should I tell
money
you
wise or?
Yeah, in terms of OS Buddy, price guide. So it goes from a rune scimitar to a blue wizard robe to a grimy toad flax. Shit. I was really hoping that your best item was under my rune sim, because I would whatever.
Mine's a wizard robe, and then it's 2 raiders. So okay, let's pull out your. Let's just pull out one item. There's no point in pulling out a secondary.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. But how much is was it wizard robe top G?
It's 225k.
Damn.
How much is your rune scimitar?
350. No, it's 17k. If I'm rounding up, but yeah, 16.7k.
You got it trimmed.
She got the gilded scimitar.
Cool.
God
okay,
damn.
What's your total level?
Total level is 276.
Okay, I'm 224. What's your combat level?
Combat level is 39.
I'm 34. What's your bank worth?
That's a good question. Let me check right now. My bank is 153.8k.
Wow, yours is still pretty high too. Mine's 289k.
Decent.
Yeah, 289k. I'm having trouble talking today. Holy shit. It's been a rough week.
Happen.
It's been a scorcher out there.
Yeah, it's for real. But shit, dude. I was so set on he's just gonna cheese me out. He's gonna cheese me with a Renar seed. But no, you fucking cheese me with a goddamn clue scroll.
That's why I thought it was so funny when you're just it's the goddamn Moss Giants, isn't it? I'm just like, what? That's so random. What the fuck?
Because I was thinking the only possible thing you could get realistic. I mean, you could have got a rune chain body, but I'm like, Renar seed. That's if I was I thought you knew I just had a rune scimitar at this point, so I'm like, okay, what's the easiest way for me to win? And that 100% would have been, or Iron Man luck. Just crack out a bunch of clues. I don't think I've done so many clues and I've never got that before.
I got 3 decent things in a row, and I didn't think that was actually gonna be a viable. I was just like, you know what, let's just try it out just to start off, and then if it doesn't pan out after the first handful of them, I'll just go kill, fire giants or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, that's actually definitely a way better plan than mine. Because you can get so many items that are so helpful for your dude. Even the fact you have the wizard robe, you don't have to go grind those stupid guys to get them anymore. I had to kill so many. I killed 40 of them to get one. And shit, yeah, you get some pretty useful items, and and now you can see you have a Sarah page and a wizard, gold trim. You're level 30.
What level is your magic?
It is 40.
So yeah, see, you got 40 magic killing those things. I got to walk around RuneScape digging up things.
Yeah, I guess.
So I spent my time just walking around more, but that was cool. That was fun. Okay, so this week's challenge is whoever can get the most combat levels without spending any gold. So the restriction is not spending any gold part. So that's and that's going to mean no buying things, no taking boats, or no gaining entrances through like Alcarad and stuff like that. So
yep, you can't buy food. I think that's a major one.
Yeah, the food one I think is a big one.
Yeah, and like runes that might fuck me over. Who knows? Yeah. I think I have a shit ton still though.
And I think it's good we do the combat levels now because we're gonna get, there's no point doing it when we're like
once we start like ramping up, we can actually like have way more interesting things. And like I've got like no skills done.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have a skilling week one day. One week. Like I'm new to kind of the Iron Man, gameplay play style. And I'm still kind of trying to figure out venues of like killing as many birds as possible at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, how many birds you can get stoned at once?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm pretty new to it. I find I stumble upon I get really lucky. Like my main source of food, which I mean you already know it, and I don't even think I've mentioned it like on the podcast. But what I've been doing for food to save time is I go to the Barbarian Outpost into the Long Hall, and there's the two meats. And if I'm desperate, I can just drink the beer there if I need to heal up like now. But I'll grab the 2 cooked meats and then I'll world hop, and I'll just do that over and over again until I have a full inventory, and then I'll go kill stuff. And that's kind of like if I'm in the area, I'm not gonna run from Catherby or something all the way over. But that's how I normally got food. But I would have never ever thought about I just came across I was running by to Edgeville for something for one of our challenges. Or maybe when I was questing or something, I don't even know. And I just came across them.
You stumble upon things, because I've done the same thing with the kebabs and cocktails at the Gnome Stronghold.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. The cocktails, they're pretty easy to make. They'll cost you, got to buy a bunch of different ingredients, and they cost you maybe a total of 5 GP, but the cocktail will heal you 9 HP. So and gives you cooking experience. So it's that's something I never would have thought of. I probably, because you can just go fish some tuna. On the main. But as a low level, I just stumbled across them. I bought a bunch of ingredients and I made some of the cocktails. Yeah. It'll help out. And actually, let me backpedal a little bit. I wanted to say something when I was doing a waterfall quest. I spent, I think 3 hours of my time was spent doing that quest.
Are you serious?
The amount of times I would get somewhere and then realize I forgot an item, or I'd walk to the wrong place because I wasn't using any guides. I was just kind of reading the text. And I'm trying to... I'll say this too. I kind of want to make a timeline for RuneScape lore, because I know a lot of people don't pay attention to the lore, me included. But at the same time, some people are... I know I was... in last week's email, they wrote in and said they were interested in the lore and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of fill myself in with all that stuff. And I started making a timeline because... RuneScape kind of goes on the history of RuneScape goes on an ages kind of thing. Right now there's 6 ages. Does that make sense? And I think they span over a series of 7,000 years. Okay. And so you obviously have 3rd Age armor, which you get from Clue Scrolls. So that's obviously armor that came from the 3rd Age era. So I'll say this right now, because this was kind of cool, because I started filling it in, and then the waterfall quest. So I spent 3 hours doing it. I got lost in the fucking gnome maze, for a long time. I was stuck in there. It wasn't even funny. It got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna figure this out on my own, because I tried every possible path, even ones that looked closed on the map. I still walked to the dead end.
Yeah, so it's kind of you're fully committed after 3 hours. I'm not opening up a guide. Fuck this.
It's personal now.
Yeah.
So eventually I finished it. So I was paying attention to the story, and so OldSchool Runescape is sitting in the 5th age right now, and RuneScape 3 is an age ahead of us. That's why you see a lot when people suggest, hey, let's add this into the game or this into the game, but RuneScape 3 has something in place of that. They don't want to screw with the consistency and like the lore too much. So they get away with things like Zulrah because they can easily just say people in the 6th age just maybe don't know Zulrah's there.
Mm-hmm.
She's there, they just don't know she's there.
Yeah, or she's killed or something. She's been, fought off for good. Like, whatever. Yeah, no, they can...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, something on the lines of the desert city next to Sophinum. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So that's been closed off for a while. RuneScape 3 is adding that in, and people have said in old school RuneScape, hey, why can't we get that in? Because they can't make that city and then make it completely different than the one in RuneScape 3, because then that just won't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
But what they can do is, for instance, Monkey Madness 2, they can add in a whole different section that just... It's not conflicting with the lore and the storyline of RuneScape 3. It's just taking a different direction. It's a path that maybe is just undiscovered.
Yeah.
And anyways, what I wanted to say was the Waterfall quest, it's about an elf king named Backstorian, and he marries... I believe it's an elf lady named Galariel.
Yep.
Obviously, you go to her tomb, you get her amulet and stuff. But she was kidnapped by a tribe of people. So, no wait. The elf king Backstorian, he left for war because they were having a war against some dark forces of the West. So I don't know what that means. I was kind of thinking maybe that could just be like barbarians or like other humanoids of some sorts. It doesn't have to be some mythical force. Yeah. So, anyways, he leaves on a 5-year crusade to go just like kill and stop that. And when he comes back, his whole kingdom and the village, everyone's killed, and his wife is gone, and he doesn't know where she is. Somehow he knows she's kidnapped, so he decides to go try to find her. And years go by, and he never finds her. Eventually, gives up. He had made a home underneath Backstorian. What is it? The waterfall.
Yeah. The Backstorian Falls.
Yeah. So he made a secret home that is actually his wife's home. He made it for her, but he's able to enter it too. Obviously,
is that why there's the 2 statues in that?
Yeah, that's one of the wife and one of their. But he went into that tomb. He went into that tomb pretty basically when he gave up on looking for her, and they said he just went in there and never came back out. And they say the only other person who can get into there is Galariel, so I guess that's why you need the necklace and stuff. I didn't plan on explaining that full thing, but what I wanted to say was that stuff falls into the second era, to the second age, at the end of the second age. So that sort of stuff happens before the third age. In the fourth age, a lot of artifacts are lost during that or near the end of that. So I'm really ignorant in it. I'm just literally picking up bits and pieces here and there. And I just started a Google Docs where I'm kind of adding in, okay, this event happened here, this event happened here. And I want to make like a little timeline because it's kind of interesting. It's
yeah, that definitely is like it's really
cool.
neat. I would have never guessed that. Like I would have just assumed it was something super trolly.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like the story was kind of cool, and I like the idea of ages and how I think it's awesome that RuneScape 3 is an age ahead of us. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's a really nice like little concept.
Yeah. And
but yeah, I was gonna say like with me in Waterfall Quest, I've done that quest way too many times that like I just kind of it's like clockwork now. All right, try to do it. Go grab all my runes, grab the rope, grab everything I need. Like run. Once I get to the maze, I just run through it. Get the urn and all that shit. And then I go and I start the Tree Gnome Village so I can get teleported out of the maze and then run all the way back. And like, yeah, I don't know. I think I've got that like pretty easily done.
Oh yeah, I also died too. Fuck, I can't remember why. That's why the quest just took so long because I was like doing that, and then I was also like watching the Runefest thing, and I was taking little notes. So I'd look away and be like, "Oh, cool. Let me watch this little demonstration." And then
I've already won, so I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was probably the Moss Giants because they hit like 14s or something.
I can't remember where it was. Yeah. I know we said we were going to upload YouTube videos, and I haven't gone around to doing that, but I plan on starting to work on it, so I don't really know how to do any of this stuff I'm going to learn, so it's going to take me a little bit longer, but, I plan once it gets going to be kind of steady after that. And I have some ideas for other videos, too. It should be fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it'll be good. And, once the videos start coming out, we already have, I've been recording everything, right?
I have too, yeah.
Yeah, so we, once we get the ball rolling, it'll keep going. We'll,
Yeah, because I honestly, I don't know how it is for people to listen to us talk about the progress. I don't know if it's actually entertaining or if it's confusing as fuck and they're just I'm not following along whatsoever. I can't keep track of what you've done in this. You know what I mean?
Well,
so,
I think half of it is because I'm all over the place. Wait, let me go back to the very first thing I did. I actually forgot. This is crucial though. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I've recorded all my progress too, so when we make YouTube videos, you guys will be able to actually see that. So I guess I'll start wrapping these things up because my brain feels fucking fried and I can't talk. I just feel all over the place.
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay, but I want to talk about the giveaways we're doing because I think we should announce, what the prize should be for. Should we do it for next week? The next episode, I should say.
Yeah, I think I think we should.
We'll announce the winners on the next episode. So, guys, we're doing a giveaway right now where you can actually win. What you need to do to win, or to be eligible to win, is to email thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. There's a song that will be playing and has been playing for the past couple weeks. At the end of this song, it's a RuneScape song. So, if you can give us the name of that song in the email, we'll put you in for make so that you're eligible to win. We'll put you in for a little draw and give your username too, so we know who to actually give it to. So what what we're going to be giving away, what you guys can actually win is, keep it on theme with bonds. You can win it. We're going to give our first giveaway is going to be a bond. So if you'll get your 14 days membership for free just for, I guess, kind of listening and emailing and all. Yeah.
Or some nice GP, depending on how you want to go.
But yeah. So yeah, guys, feel free to email. And we're thinking, we've been recording on Thursdays and we're usually released on the weekends sometimes. But we're going to switch it to Mondays. This gives us a chance to actually to actually get more familiar with an update when it comes out. Because right now, as it is, we have, I get home from work and you're done with school. We have maybe an hour to try out the new update that came out.
Yeah.
And talk about it. So Monday, this gives us a chance to do it. And I think I feel like it'll be better. So we're going to change the recording days to Monday. And you can probably expect the podcast to be out Tuesday or Wednesday. So we're going to be doing the draw. It's not going to be the Monday coming up. It's going to be October 3rd. So you guys kind of have 9 days. So yeah, get in on that if you're interested. And yeah, feel free to email us for anything, questions, stories, suggestions, recommendations, feedback. We would love to hear from you guys. So email us thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. Or you could also tweet us at Twitter, which is @thewildernessRS. Or, you guys can even send us a Facebook message. We made a little group on there. So, yeah, there's a few venues. You guys can reach out if you feel like it. Whatever's easiest. And yeah, we also have a Discord. So, yeah, also, if you guys want to get in on that Discord, email us and stuff about that. We'll give you a link. Maybe we'll just start posting it. I just don't want to start throwing it out in the public to get random trolls right now. And yeah, that's about it. You got anything fun coming up next week?
I got 2 math tests tomorrow. I got 3 assignments on Tuesday. So, in terms of RuneScape, probably just gonna be doing a lot of AFK stuff.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I'll probably be playing on my pure. I'm taking a liking to the grind, even though I got a huge list of stuff. There's so many requirements to get the anchor. But I think it'll be worth it. No, it'll be a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah, no, I agree. Peers are a lot of fun. All right. Yeah. Well, let's shut this bitch down because I need to get some sleep. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for listening to episode 4 of the Wilderness Podcast. Tune in next week. Actually, tune in October 3rd for the episode 5, guys. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.